Now it's time for the hardcore analysis, because I know these games are a slog. 2.5 hours in, it was the 6th inning last night. Pitch clock in the playoffs, please. It's a must. But try to follow this now. Dodgers and Braves, second straight year between these two. It is a mind game, a game of tactics and strategy. Let's do some digging in. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, and the club with the biggest payroll in the game is bullpenning. Second straight game, the Dodgers start a traditional relief pitcher. This one a bullpen game after an opener in Game 5 of the NLCS. Here's Dave Roberts talking about the opener, which was debuted by the Rays 3 years ago.
I hated it. It wasn't baseball. I like to see the starters go deep, and you know, when you sit in this chair, you're trying to win games. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, for a guy who didn't like it, he's sure gone whole hog on it now. Going with an opener in the decisive Game 5 against the Giants, remember that? And then a bullpen game in Game 1 against the Braves. It's the same thing, bullpenning all opener. And yes, Game 1, Corey Knebel did allow a run. So I wouldn't call that success. But remember, the first inning is the highest scoring inning. And the opener is a guy who will be pitching the 7th or 8th inning anyway. So it's a high-leverage guy who's going to pitch in a big spot that very game anyway. There's nobody in baseball with a 0 ERA. An occasional run is going to score. If an opener gives up a run, it's not a failure. Just like if he throws a scoreless inning, it's not genius. It's just helpful in a bunch of ways. Here's one way it's helpful that you probably didn't even notice. This is in Game 1, second inning. Chris Taylor on second. Steven Souza is hitting. And this is the pitcher spot. If you had a traditional starter, the pitcher is hitting and you're out of luck. It's only the second inning. You don't take him out there, but you use an opener. You have a real hitter up there. Big spot, not a pitcher. Sousa struck out, so it doesn't look like much. Nobody remembers it, but it is a big advantage to use a hitter in a high-leverage spot. Again, this is about small advantages. That's a pretty good one, just didn't work out. Game 2, traditional starters this time. One of them, a future Hall of Famer. The other, one of the better young pitchers in the game. And yet neither Max Scherzer nor Ian Anderson would see the lineup for a third time. Anderson had only given up 2 runs on that 1 home run, but he allowed 6 base runners in 3 innings, and Brian Snitker of Atlanta took him out after just 55 pitches. This sort of thing, by the way, was unheard of just a decade ago. And Scherzer went 4 1/3. He threw just 79 pitches. He also gave up just a 2-run home run. He had 7 strikeouts, throwing well, but he came out having faced the lineup twice, and the top of the order features back-to-back lefties. Dave Roberts gave him the opportunity to bring in his rookie lefty, Alex Vesia. Vesia battled back, struck out Freddie Freeman, struck out Ozzie Albies, got out of trouble. That was a huge, huge spot. Lineup construction can be somewhat overrated. But I wondered why the Braves would go Eddie Rosario and Freeman back-to-back at the top of the lineup, 2 lefties. It keeps allowing the Dodgers to make that pitching change. Ozzie Albies bats third. He's a switch hitter right behind those 2 lefties. But the Dodgers keep making that move to get a platoon advantage. Remember, Jorge Soler for the Atlanta Braves is out right now. He was the righty leading off. But you have to deal with what you have. The Dodgers seem to be getting a bit of an edge on that, in theory. Anyway, speaking of edges, you see what single-game baseball is all about. Yes, home runs win. But around the home runs, you need speed. Chris Taylor had a big double to give the Dodgers a lead, but what gets my attention is he walked in the 6th, stole second, and then advanced on a tag up to get to third. Now, eventually, he was stranded, right? So you don't remember that, but every base counts, and this is a long series. He's playing well. Speaking of speed, Eddie Rosario ran hard all night. This is a player with just about average speed, according to StatCast, but he's a plus base runner. Remember, he ran out this single in the 3rd, showed real speed. He's digging, and then he had an 8th inning straight out of the Joe DiMaggio highlight reel. He tagged up and took second base on this fly ball to left. Remember, Braves are down 2. This takes chutzpah. And then, with Ozzie Albies hitting a single, Rosario went for it. Ron Washington sent him at third. Rosario, beautiful slide. Much closer call than the next play where Albies scored on a double. His own fault. He should have been on second to begin with, but he got in. Braves tied it up in the 8th, and they tied it up by being brazen on the base paths. These teams are very close. You have to get after it. Fortune favors the bold. All right. To this point, I've been praising Dave Roberts for his innovative use of the pitching staff, and I'm sure it's Roberts and the whole baseball ops staff. But I was stunned to look up in the top of the 9th inning, tie ball game, and not see Kenley Jansen, relief ace, on the mound. This is elemental. The 9th inning is an elimination inning. It's sudden death. Game can end on one swing. Not long ago, most all teams did not use their relief ace, believe it or not, in the top of the ninth. The mindset was you use your closer when you have a lead to close out the game. That mindset is absurd. You will often be waiting for a lead that never comes, and you end up losing with your best pitcher out for out, standing out there in the bullpen. I'm sure the Dodgers don't think that way. I mean, there's no way, right?